I'm sorry?
Electronic difference in the body actually those it's also there. I stream that YouTube as also, I think that's recording because when I was speed read.
Oh, yeah. Just want to make sure that we can hear that.
That's perfect. Are you ready?
All right, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Please call the roll.
Mayor Delacola.
Here.
Assistant Director of Law DeChiro.
Here.
Director of Finance Herwick. Here. Councilman at Large Baker.
Here.
Councilman at Large Kranek. Councilman at Large Traffus.
Here.
Ward 1 Councilman Biassiata.
Here.
Ward 2 Councilman Frondor.
Here.
Ward 3 Councilman Kukrow.
Here.
Ward 4 Councilman Petro.
Here.
Director of Public Service and Properties Levis.
Here.
Building Commissioner Vitardi.
Okay, before we get started, Councilman Kranek had a family matter to attend to. He has to be excused, so I'm going to make a motion to excuse Councilman Kranek from this meeting. I'll second the motion. Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Councilman Kranek has been excused. We'll start with the reading and disposal of the journal minutes of the regular council meeting held April 24, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Frondor.
having read the council minutes of the council meeting dated April 24th, 2017, I find no errors or omissions. I move that they be approved as printed.
I second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Meeting minutes for the regular meeting of April 24th, 2017 have been passed. Moving on to the minutes of the regular council meeting held May 8th, 2017.
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Frondor.
I move that we table the minutes of the regular council meeting held May 2017. They have been printed, but they have not been approved.
Second the motion, Mr. Chairman. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Minutes for the regular council meeting held May 8th, 2017 have been tabled. Moving on to the minutes of the public hearing held May 22nd, 2017.
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Frondor.
Once again, I'd like to table the minutes of the public hearing held May 22nd, 2017. They have been printed but not approved.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Minutes of the public hearing held May 22, 2017 have been tabled. Moving on to the consent agenda dated June 12th, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
if there's no division of the question, I move that we accept.
I'm recusing myself from the vote.
Okay. If there's no division of the question, I move that we accept consent agenda for June 12th, 2017.
Councilman Bicker.
I second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Consent agenda dated June 12th, 2017 has been passed. Are there any resolutions or commendations?
There are none.
Okay. Reports of committees. Before we do this, I'd just like to ask everybody on the dais to make sure you speak into the microphones a little bit better. We're having some problems with the recorded minutes. So if you pull them up to your face, I'd appreciate it. Okay, reports of committees. The Planning, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee last met on May 15th. Those meeting minutes are forthcoming, and our next meeting will be held on June 19th. Public Works Committee, Councilman Petro.
Mr. Chairman, we met on June 5th, and the meetings are on file with the clerk.
Thank you. Community Services Committee, Councilman Bicker.
We met on June 5th, and our next meeting is the 3rd of July, and minutes are forthcoming.
Thank you. Police and Safety Committee, Councilman Kranek will provide his report at our next council meeting. Parks and Recreation, Councilman Kukrow.
Thank you, Mr. President. We last met on June 5th. The meeting minutes are forthcoming, and we'll meet again in July.
Thank you. Rules, Ordinances, and Ethics, Councilman Biassiata.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our last meeting was May 1st. Those minutes are on file. Our next meeting will be June 19th.
Thank you. Finance, Civil Service, and Personnel, Councilman Frondor.
Yes, Mr. President, our last meeting was held June 5th. Our next meeting will be held June 19th, and the minutes are forthcoming.
Thank you. Are there any appointments and confirmations?
Not this evening.
Are there any communications, petitions, and claims?
I just have one communication that was emailed regarding the proposed marijuana processing facility from Norman Martin of Ruth Drive. It is a lengthy email, and I will not read it in full, but I will append it to the minutes as a communication. That's all we have.
Mr. President, if I may.
Mayor Delacroix.
Thank you. And I thank you for the indulgence of permitting one more communication that I'm going to ask to be presented verbally to save the gentleman a little bit of time. I'd like to introduce the council and everybody here attending, and those on the dais already know him, but the audience may not. His name is Vince Crawford. He is our liaison and representative with Waste Management. He's here this evening at my invitation to talk about home days. As you may know, Waste Management has made a very generous contribution to the city of $4,000 for the purpose of supporting our home days event. Mr. Crawford is going to talk a little bit about that, and also Waste Management is going to be bringing a very large vehicle as part of our home days festivity, and a couple of their personnel allow the kids to climb aboard and perhaps even blow the horn every once in a while they're here. So again, I thank you for permitting him at this point to make a short presentation. Mr. Crawford.
Thank you very much, Mayor and members of council. I did want to just come out and thank you, because Waste Management, we appreciate being partners in the communities that we service. And at the beginning of this year, I got together with the mayor to find out, what event it would be impactful for us to participate in Normally we get into maybe smaller things that are maybe baseball sponsorship, which is kind of typical, or lately a lot of environmental things. And that usually just hits a very small segment of the population. Those who are really excited about recycling come out to an environmental day, but something that all the residents of Seven Hills are happy and want to participate in, and have an opportunity to be a main sponsor for this Home Days event. We're very proud of it, and we're happy to do so. And besides the monetary donation, working with Tony Terry, having the truck come out, we actually, not all of our drivers, but as with any business, we have some drivers that really enjoy that, being with the kids, giving them that opportunity. And it's good twofold, because it is a safety day, and it allows us to do a little bit of safety with the kids, because quite honestly, we don't want the kids next to that truck when it's going down the road. But when it's parked in a safe environment, they have the opportunity with their parents to be there and get inside, like the mayor said, and honk the horn. They always get for a lot of the air horn. Maybe not everybody else standing around there does, but the kids do. And we like to provide our drivers some trinkets too. So we'll have some little giveaways that they can give the kids. Maybe it's a magnet, coloring books with crayons that are recycled crayons. And generally, it is a fun opportunity for us to engage with the residents that we're serving. But it's easy it's not necessarily always easy to make a donation. When we get asked from a lot of different communities, but when I get the opportunity to sit down with the communities ahead of time, instead of responding to a request for a donation and figuring out strategically what's the best way for us to partner with the city, then I can go to my management and say, hey, this is what's important to the city, so it's important to Waste Management, and this is what we want to step up to the plate and do. So I really appreciate you guys letting me speak and to say thank you. And we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to being a partner here at the Home Days, and hopefully, year after year, this can just be the thing that we can partner with the city on. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Vince, for attending, and thank you for participating in our Home Days. We're very excited that we've been establishing a great partnership with your company, and we look forward to continued success on both accounts.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, council is now open to the audience on legislation only. If you have any comments regarding any items on our agenda, please approach the podium and state your name and address.
Tom Jarvis, Crescent Ridge Drive, Seven Hills. A comment on 31-2017, which is on the agenda tonight, that has to do with my suspension from the Planning Commission. The first paragraph, it said, Mr. Jarvis's request for an evidentiary hearing on a proposed removal. I made a request. When I found out I'd never been paid and wasn't on a planning commission, I withdrew that request. And I don't like that this infers that I had something to do with the circus that ensued. So I think that needs to be taken out of there. I made no request for a hearing. When I came to the meeting, I told Mr. DeChiro and Mr. Pignatello I wouldn't participate in the hearing. So that really needs to go, guys. I also have a recording of Mr. DeChiro and myself in a meeting. It's pertinent.
I'm going to object to this, Mr. President. He's had the opportunity to play these at a hearing. This isn't a hearing now. If he wants to speak to council, it's one thing. For him to, I'm not speaking to council. I would questions should be stricken from the record. This is improper protocol playing the course.
This portion of the meeting is for resident comment, not to hear recordings. We're going to ask you to stop playing this recording. Mr. Jarvis? No, we're asking you to stop the recording, and I'm going to ask the assistant law director to weigh in further, please.
Sorry. Yes, it's improper. He wants to make a comment. Fine, you get a chance for a hearing.
My comment was on your comment calling it a witch hunt.
You could have stopped it. You could have stopped it by time.
Is there anybody further in the audience? Okay, moving on to ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 65, 2017 will now be read for its second reading.
Ordinance number 65, 2017, introduced by Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an agreement on behalf of the city of Seven Hills, Ohio with Courtview Justice Solutions of Canton, Ohio for the purpose of performing annual maintenance and support of the mayor's court legacy case management system software and the right to use license, and appropriating the sum not to exceed $2,297 for said service.
Ordinance number 65, 2017 has now been read for its second reading. We move on to amended ordinance number 66, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
I move that we suspend the rules on the charter and amended ordinance number 66, 2017 by removing the emergency clause.
I second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Amended ordinance number 66, 2017 has been amended to remove the emergency clause, and we will now have the second reading of amended ordinance number 66, 2017.
Amended ordinance number 66, 2017, just revised, introduced by Mayor Delacola and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a pool usage agreement on behalf of the city of Seven Hills, Ohio, with the city of Broadview Heights, Ohio, in order to provide use of the city of Seven Hills Recreation Complex pool to the residents and members of the Broadview Heights Recreation Center while their recreation center is closed for construction.
Amended ordinance number 66, 2017 has been read for its second reading, and we will now have the second reading of ordinance number 67, 2017.
Ordinance number 67, 2017, introduced by Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with HSBC Bank USA National Association through Total Merchant Services for credit card processing for payments associated with recreation complex parks, recreation classes, and admissions.
Ordinance number 67, 2017 has been read for its second reading. Moving on to ordinance number 69, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Bicker.
I move that council suspends the rules under the charter and reads ordinance 69-2017 by title only first and declaring an emergency.
I second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 69, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacola and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an agreement on behalf of the city of Seven Hills, Ohio, with Aladdin Rents of East Lake, Ohio, for the purpose of providing tents, risers, and appurtenances to be used at the 2017 City of Seven Hills Home Days, appropriating the sum not to exceed $4,412 for said services and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 69, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Bicker.
I move that we pass ordinance 69-2017.
Second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 69, 2017 has been passed. Moving on to ordinance number 70, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
I move that we suspend the rules on the charter and read ordinance number 70, 2017 by title only for its first and final reading.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? Please call.
Yes, Matt, I just want to thank LSB for that generous $5,000 donation.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 70, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delcol and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an agreement on behalf of the city of Seven Hills, Ohio, with American Fireworks Company of Hudson, Ohio, for the purpose of selling, furnishing, delivering, and presenting a fireworks display for the city of Seven Hills 2017 home days, appropriating a sum not to exceed $5,000 for said services and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 70, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
I move that we pass ordinance number 70, 2017.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
yeah, again, like Councilman Bicker said, thank you to LSP for this generous donation so that we can have a nice home days. You know, last year at this point, we weren't going to have home days. And this year, it looks like it's shaping up to be a really nice event again. So thank you to LSP.
Thank you, Councilman. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 70, 2017 has passed. Moving on to ordinance number 71, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Biassiata.
I move that we suspend the rules under charter and read ordinance 71-2017 by title only for its first and final reading.
I'll second that, Mr. President.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 71, 2017, introduced by Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance to amend section 156.05 fee schedule is contained in chapter 156, Seven Hills Home Days, of Title V Administrative of Part 1 Administrative Code of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Seven Hills, Ohio, for the purpose of adjusting food vendor and advertisement fees for home days and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 71, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Biassiata.
I move that we pass ordinance 71-2017.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 71, 2017 has passed. Moving on to ordinance number 72, 2017.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Petro.
I move that council suspends the rules under the charter and reads ordinance 72, 2017 by title only for its final reading.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 72, 2017, introduced by Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Walter H. Drain Company of Beechwood, Ohio, for the purpose of updating the City of Seven Hills codified ordinances, both in book form and on the internet, in an amount not to exceed $8,334.15, and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 72, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Petro.
I move that council passes ordinance 72, 2017.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 72, 2017 has passed. Moving on to ordinance number 73, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
I move that we suspend the rules under the charter and read ordinance number 73, 2017 by title only for its final reading.
Councilman Biassiata. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 73, 2017, introduced by Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. A moral claim authorizing and directing the Director of Finance to pay Seven Hills Police Officer Michael Greer the sum in the total amount of $90 as reimbursement of a medical fee resulting from a work-sustained injury and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 73, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
I move that we pass ordinance number 73, 2007.
I second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 73, 2017 has passed. Moving on to ordinance number 74, 2017.
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Frondor.
I move the council suspends the rules under the charter and reads ordinance 74, 2017 by title only for its first and final reading and declaring an emergency.
Second motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 74, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacuilla and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an economic development, job creation, and job retention agreement with Futuri Media, repealing amended ordinance number 48, 2017, passed April 28, 2017, and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 74, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Frondor.
I move that we pass ordinance number 74, 2017.
Second motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any discussion? I just want to mention that this is a terrific company that is moving into Seven Hills. And although there were a couple bumps in the road to get them in there, it worked out very well for the city. And I want to thank our finance director, Sonia, and our assistant finance director, Julia Hotchkiss, and Mayor Delacuilla for their work on this. I think we all work very well together to make this happen for our city. So I'm very pleased and thank you, everybody. Is there any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 74, 2017 has passed. Moving on to resolution number 29, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Bicker.
I move that council suspends the rules under the charter and reads resolution 29-2017 by title only for its final reading.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Resolution number 29, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacuilla and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. A resolution declaring the intent to appropriate property interests for the Hemlock Creek watershed utility improvements in the city of Seven Hills and declaring an emergency.
Resolution number 29, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Bicker.
I move that we adopt resolution 29-2017.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Resolution number 29, 2017 has been adopted. Moving on to resolution number 30, 2017.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Petro.
I move that council suspends the rules under the charter and reads resolution 30, 2017 by title only for its final reading.
I second the motion.
Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Biassiata.
I'll be recusing myself. This is a friend of mine.
Okay. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Resolution number 30, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacuilla and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. A resolution declaring the intent to appropriate property interests for the Hemlock Creek watershed utility improvements in the city of Seven Hills and declaring an emergency.
Resolution number 30, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Petro.
I move that council adopts resolution 30, 2017.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Resolution number 30, 2017 has been adopted. Moving on to resolution number 31, 2017.
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Frondor.
I would like to amend Resolution 31, 2017 by attaching Exhibit A.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Resolution number 31, 2017 has been amended. Is there a further motion?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Frondor.
I move the council suspends the rules under the charter and reads amended resolution number 31, 2017 by title only for its first and final reading and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Amended Resolution Number 31, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacola and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. A resolution approving conclusions of fact in the matter of the removal of Thomas Jaros as a member of the City of Seven Hills Planning Commission and declaring an emergency.
Amended resolution number 31, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Frondor.
I move that we adopt amended resolution number 31, 2017.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Amended resolution number 31, 2017 has been adopted. Council is now open to the audience. If any member of the audience has any comments, please approach the podium and state your name and address.
Try this again. I'd like the residents of Seven Hills to see the kind of backroom baloney that goes on when the council gets in its mind to attack a resident, and the law department supports it. And I'd like to be able to play the entire recording.
You had your opportunity at your hearing.
This is
Again, it's for comments only.
This is-
Once the presiding case, this is not the place.
This is not a forum for recordings. This is a forum for Mr. Jaros. We're going to ask you to stop playing this recording. This is not a forum. This is not a forum for audio recordings. This is a forum for public. Mr. Jaros, give any advice?
I asked him to step down as this officer remover. He is not the chief president of the chairman. He should be the president of this country to be removed. He's not, he's doing it. You know what? Got it. I had a former mayor.
I'm going to make a motion to recess this meeting. We will continue this later. Can I please have a second? Please call the roll.
Jaros.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
This meeting is recessed.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to reconvene the council meeting.
I'll second that.
Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro. Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Okay, is there any further public comment? Okay, we'll move on to reports and communications from the mayor and safety director, Mayor Delacroix.
Thank you again, Mr. President. No further comment, but I again want to thank council for indulging Mr. Crawford, and specifically want to thank Waste Management for their very generous contribution for home days.
Thank you, Mayor. Reports from the directors of departments and other officials. Director of Finance, Sonia Herwick.
I don't have anything at this time.
Okay. Assistant Director of Law, Patrick DeCiro.
At this time, I just want to make a comment. There's no report. There's been certain allegations made about Ms. Tobin, about Mr. Pignatello, about myself. All those are unfounded and the ramblings of someone who doesn't understand the law. And I just want to put that on the record. And again, due process has been provided for everybody here, and they didn't take advantage of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeCiro. Director of Public Service and Property, Stuart Levis.
No comment.
City Engineer, Dan Collins.
I have no report.
Council Miscellaneous, I'll start with Councilman Frondor.
I'd like to thank Waste Management for their generous donation. I'd also like to thank LSB for financing and donating to our fireworks display at home days this year.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Petro.
Mr. Chairman, I have one item. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the clerk of council to advertise for bids for the City of Seven Hills 2017 crack sealing program in accordance with the bidding and contract documents on file with the city engineer.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Floor motion has been approved. Anything further, Councilman?
Nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Kukrow.
Nothing.
Councilman Bicker.
Go Cavs.
Councilman, thank you. Councilman Biassiata.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. The only thing I have is an item from our zoning board of appeals that we discussed in our previous caucus meeting for a variance request. So I'm going to make a motion to grant a variance to Michael Briggs of 1632 Buttonwood Drive, the variance request ordinance number 963.02 to construct a second 10 by 14 accessory building on a 1,752 square foot lot, 36 feet from the rear building line of the home and 15 feet from the side yard lot line.
I'll second that.
Was there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Variance has been approved. And with that, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Meeting has been adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for attending.
No, not today. Not today.